Thanks, Bill. Valerie, looks like you might have something to share.
I'm standing there at the women's clinic at the VA hospital in Loma Linda, looking at a poster on the wall which said, "She wore these." It was a picture of combat boots, showing that women serve too. I started thinking back to Brooklyn, New York, the crime-infested, violent projects where I came from. Drugs and senseless killings were a part of everyday life, and I'm standing looking out of my window watching the pimps and prostitutes work the streets. I never realized I was becoming a product of my environment. I was arrested when I was 16, and it was a humiliating experience. As I sat in that cold, empty cell, locked up behind bars, I was so depressed. I realized I was going down the wrong road. I wanted to change, but where I came from, not many people make it out of the hood. I was determined, so in August 2001, I joined the U.S. Navy. I was eager to leave the old life behind and create a better life with value and meaning. While in boot camp, I was only 17. The tragic events of 9/11 unfolded. I wanted to help fight the global war on terrorism. I was assigned to the USS Ronald Reagan, the first nuke power carrier and the pride of the fleet, and I was there. "Man the rails," was the order as we silently pulled out of the New York harbor. The deck was ringed with white uniforms. This was her maiden voyage, and I was filled with pride as I looked back over my shoulder and saw the Brooklyn projects getting smaller, and they faded off in the distance. I served my country well and rose through the ranks to a petty officer first class, a position of leadership in charge of my junior sailors. Being in that position wasn't always easy because sometimes we would have to work late, and as you know, overtime is always authorized. During the shift change, I noticed one of the girls acting strange. Her uniform was rumpled and dirty, so I called her over and asked her to sit down. She walked slowly, then sat down, wondering if she could trust me. I asked her, "What's wrong?" After a long silence, she opened up. I'll never forget her words. I was raped. The wind was knocked out of my sails. The conversation turned from feelings of shame to feelings of guilt and then to blame. She asked, "Why me? What did I do to deserve this?" As she talked about the assault, all I could think of was this young girl is someone's daughter, sister, mother. I couldn't believe this could happen after being preached to about all the things the Navy stood for: honor, pride, and togetherness. I asked her, "Who did this to you?" She lowered her head and whispered a familiar name, "One of our own." I was enraged. Shipmates take care of shipmates, not rape them. How could something like this happen? This was the ultimate betrayal. I felt as emotional numbness and a complete loss of trust for the Navy. I couldn't protect her, and I let her down. And I didn't see the warning signs, so I felt guilty. I carried the pain and grief of not being there to help her. We women proudly serve too, and being raped and taken advantage of is all the thanks we get for honorable service. I ask myself how I proceed from here. It's hard to accept responsibility and then move on. My mind goes back to the VA hospital in Loma Linda and the poster of the combat boots. She wore these. Then I was introduced to the vet center. I always thought the vet center was just for combat vets that served in the field. You know, the hot-headed, trigger-happy grunts. I found that the vet center services are for victims of military sexual assault too. The counselors are easy to talk to and they truly care. I was impressed with the camaraderie I felt at the center. I met veterans that experienced situations similar to mine, and I knew I was not alone. Coming to the vet center, I got that sense of unity back and regained the military bond that was once lost. Over time, I was finally able to let go and feel the freedom I was always searching for.